Well, here we are, everybody, returning to, of course, N Team. We are now moving on to a song called, I'm going to guess, Samidare? Or maybe it's Samidare. Doubt it. That is so dumb, I'm sorry. Let's check it out. Oh, that was cool. A little bit of friction in the group. Wow. That was actually rather crazy. Wow. Very cool. I always think that's cool. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about this music video. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. It's so well shot. This is insane. love how subtle everything is too. So obviously the song's talking a lot about friction, and obviously I can't really speak much to the lore in a lot of ways. We'll probably cover the lore at some point. But I want to talk about this as just kind of the song. And obviously I think that this is just a very, first and foremost, it's an awesome song. Very, very good song. This is probably one of the most, I would say, lyrically deep ones. And again, I'm taking this completely out of the story. I understand that it probably has some sort of significance in the story, but let's talk real for a minute here, outside of the story, and just kind of like as a real world application rather than in the story. This is obviously, I think a lot of it, if I'm being real, is understanding that being in a group is not easy. I think that there's a lot in here that kind of talks about, you know, even if you're best friends and you have each other's backs and you never leave, or you have this brotherhood or this bond, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't mean that it's, you know, perfect. It's kind of like how Maybe was, where it depicts a certain level of reality. And the fact of the matter is that their music, or the lyrics to the song, kind of refer to this, like, hey, we're all in this together, but I understand, like, people are different, and, you know, we're gonna have these moments where we butt heads and we're gonna have tension in the group. I think that's the biggest thing that I noticed, first and foremost. I mean, I think that it would be really hard in a lot of ways to be in a group, especially when it's just like put together by someone else in a TV show, if that makes sense. Whereas, like, you know, it's very, like, for me, I think about, you know, some of these groups that go on to be big successes outside of K-pop that are, like, you know, some of my favorite rock groups that they knew each other since they were 14, 15 years old, and they just played music together ever since, and that's kind of their story. And, you know, I think it's different when you can get along with a friend rather than people that you just met when you made the group, you know? So I think that there's a little bit of that there. And I think that the interesting thing is that lyrically speaking, it alludes to all this, because it'll be like, even though things are tough, it, you know, it's still very nice. Even though there's the rain, we still have the flowers, and, you know, like, stuff like that. It's definitely kind of like a raise up, we're together, we're pushing forward despite our differences. That's the biggest thing that I pulled from this personally. And, like, honestly too, as the group sings about this kind of stuff, my very first thought actually was like, the fact of the matter is that when you're part of a group like this is the part that kind of caught it for me. And that's like, even if at times when things are going well, it won't always be like that. Not because of anything else, that sometimes too, like, as we get older, we change. I think that's the season changing is literally alluding to that. So I think that that's actually a really interesting line there. So beautiful. And, you know, the truth is I think one of the reasons why they chose such a beautiful music video is because it's a beautiful experience. Very, very beautiful. It's a very beautiful experience, you know, and obviously if it's worth keeping around, you work for it. I think that's probably the best of it. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this, and we'll discuss this in another video and down in the comments below. Thank you, and dulce pareculum.